Well, that's right. We picked 3 different towns in our area to find out the history, the people who live there, and just how they got that name.
It was a road trip that took us first to Bullock County, just 12 miles south of Union Springs on Highway 239 and County Road 14. You come to a community known as Smut-Eye. I'm standing in the heart of Smut-Eye, which basically consists of a stop sign and an old grocery store, which is now closed down. But these crumbling remnants of the past aren't stopping them from moving to the future.
This house, they started working on it in 1837.
We met up with retired Army veteran and writer Major Cox.
It was home. You know, I just enjoy being here.
We got a tour of the farmland that he and his wife inherited, the same land where his ancestors worked as slaves, and the cabin he was born in 75 years ago.
Hup! Hup!
We also met the animals on the farm. He tells us the rural community was first called Welcome, but in the 1900s would get a nickname that would stick. Cox says it came from an old blacksmith named George Pope, located across from the old Smut-Eye grocery. It was a meeting place where men would gather around the fire pit.
If they started wiping their eyes, you know, smoke getting in their eyes, so they'd come home, bring that telltale sign of being over there carousing with old man Pope and drinking his moonshine, which was Smutty Eyes.
And Smut-Eye it's been ever since. The next place on our tour would take us to Wilcox County, just 23 miles west of Greenville and 25 miles southeast of Camden, sits a tiny town lined with antebellum homes. This is the historic town of Pineapple, and even though it may be small, it actually has a mayor and town council.
Great place to raise a family. It's a little out of the way from the bigger towns. Most of us here wouldn't have it any other way.
We're told Pineapple has about 175 people, but it wasn't always that way.
It used to be a bustling little community. On Saturday afternoon, you could hardly get through here with all the people, mules and wagons and cars. You wouldn't believe it now, though.
Harold Grimes was born in Pineapple 84 years ago. We're told the town was originally called Friendship, but when they wanted to get a post office in 1851, they were told there was already a Friendship, Alabama, and the name would have to change. While there may be several stories on how they got the new name, Mayor Chris Stone says it came from the trees.
Pine tree and apple tree by a well, which was in the middle of town. And so therefore Pineapple, and one of the major confusions to this day, if you tell somebody you're from Pineapple or they're writing your address down, they write it as one word. It's 2 words.
And even though it may be 2 words, you'll definitely see pineapple symbols all over town. A sign that means welcome for a town that is still rooted in friendship.
Everybody gets along real well, and thank goodness a low crime area.
Our last stop on our road tour would take us maybe to a little better known town just northwest of Wetumpka in Elmore County. It's called Slapout.
To me it's a normal name, but to most people I guess that never hear it, it's hard for them to believe it's a name of a town.
Keith Hawley has lived in Slapout his whole life. His father and a friend started the Boys Store in 1966. But this small community wasn't always called Slapout. It was first called Holtville. Hawley tells us in the 60s that name began to change.
S.O. Peoples had a store up here, and people would come in the store and they would ask for different items and stuff, and he would always say he would slap out of it.
While it's widely known as Slapout, there's still some confusion when you look at a map or GPS.
One side of the street is Wetumpka zip code. The other side of the street is Deetsville. We have Hopeful High School. The name of the town is Slapout, and we're all on Lake Jordan.
But nevertheless, the tiny nickname town has made its mark over the years, especially last year when a certain resident made it big on American Idol.
I'm from Slapout, Alabama.
Slapout, Alabama. I want to be from Slapout.
It's very time.
Jessica Muse says she loves calling Slapout home.
I like it because it's a family-oriented place and people are really spiritual. And they are full of faith. And I like to surround myself with that and positive energy. And people are nice here. See, that's how you know you're in Slapout, when a tractor just drives by on the main road.
They say souvenirs from the rural town sell pretty well, reminding you that Slapout is the place you ought to be. But at the end of the day, it's not about where you're from or the name of your town. Instead, we've learned it's all about the people there that call it home.
And we learned a lot on this trip and have a lot more we didn't show you. But we did learn that when Al Gore was vice president, he actually came and stayed in Smut-Eye. Also, the mayor of Pineapple, Chris Stone, is brother. Gordon Stone is the mayor of Pike Road, another unusual name. So Daryl and Stephanie, never know what you're going to find out.
Exactly. So many great stories. My takeaways, if there's a tractor going by, you know you're in a slap out. If pineapple is 2 words, not 1.
Right. You know, but if you look at a map of Alabama, there are a ton of unusual names
Right,
all throughout the state, but those are just 3 that we highlighted, and very interesting to learn the backgrounds of them.
Great story, Ellis. Thank you. And you know, like Ellis said, there are lots more towns that they didn't share. Go to our website, alabamanews.net, to watch more of the interviews. Well, city officials in one